On the legacy lane, we value heritage. And the heritage of the RS isn't just about going fast in a straight line. It's about the connection between the driver, the machine, and the atmosphere around them. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the wing on the car. The aerodynamics of the 992 GT3 RS are, quite literally, revolutionary for a road car. Traditionally, 911s have 3 radiators, one in the center and 2 in the corners of the front bumper. Porsche threw that layout in the trash. Borrowing directly from the Le Mans winning 911 RSR, they installed a single, massive, angled radiator in the front space. Yes, that means you have 0 luggage room, but in return you get something much more valuable: aerodynamic freedom. By clearing out the corners of the nose, Porsche was able to integrate active aerodynamic flaps that constantly adjust in real time. But the centerpiece is that rear wing. It sits higher than the roof of the car. It features a swan neck mount to keep the underside of the wing, the most sensitive part for downforce, clean and efficient. And then there's the button on the steering wheel, DRS, drag reduction system. Just like an F1 car, at the press of a button, the upper element of the wing flattens out, reducing drag and allowing you to reach a higher top speed on the straights. Under heavy braking, it acts as an air brake, standing vertically to help the massive ceramic brakes haul you down from speed. The numbers are staggering. At 177 miles per hour, this car produces 1,895 pounds of downforce. That is triple what the previous 991.2 generation produced. It is twice what a McLaren Senna produces. If you could find a tunnel long enough and drive it upside down, at high speed, the 992 GT3 RS would theoretically stay glued to the ceiling. Now let's talk about the soul of this machine, the engine. While the standard 911 range has moved toward turbocharging, and in 2026, even hybridization, the GT3 RS remains a sanctuary for the naturally aspirated engine. It is a 4-liter, horizontally opposed 6-cylinder. No turbos, no electric motors, just pure atmospheric induction. It produces 518 horsepower and 342 pound-feet of torque. In an era where 1,000 horsepower electric cars are becoming common, those numbers might seem modest. But a spec sheet can't tell you what happens when you cross the 7,000 RPM mark. The engine uses individual throttle bodies for instantaneous response. It uses a rigid valve drive that doesn't require hydraulic clearance compensation, tech taken straight from Porsche's GT3 Cup racers. The result is an engine that doesn't just rev, it sings, it screams. It wails all the way to a spine-tingling 9,000 RPM redline. Coupled with a 7-speed PDK transmission with shorter gear ratios than the standard GT3, the acceleration is violent. 0 to 60 disappears in 3 seconds flat. But again, the RS isn't about the 0-60 sprint. It's about the way the power is delivered. It is linear. It is predictable. It is a precision tool that allows you to adjust the balance of the car with millimeter-perfect throttle inputs in the middle of a high-speed corner. In March 2026, as we see more and more manufacturers retiring their high-revving engines for silent electric motors, the GT3 RS feels like a defiant, glorious last stand for the internal combustion age. Inside the 992 GT3 RS, the legacy lane philosophy of driver-centric design is taken to its logical extreme. You won't find deep menus on a touchscreen here. Instead, you find 4 rotary dials on the steering wheel. These dials are the mind of the RS. They allow the driver to adjust the car's behavior on the fly without ever taking their eyes off the apex. First, you have the PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management. Unlike almost any other road car, you can independently adjust the compression and rebound of the dampers for both the front and rear axles. Second, you have the PTV Plus, which controls the electronically regulated rear differential lock. Then you have the traction control and stability control dials, offering 7 different levels of intervention, or the ability to turn them off entirely for a raw, unfiltered experience. The cabin is a sea of carbon fiber and race decks. The door handles are fabric loops to save weight. The Weissach package, which most owners opt for, adds a carbon fiber roll cage, magnesium wheels, and even more carbon fiber in the suspension components. Porsche has even optimized the suspension for aerodynamics. The front double wishbone suspension arms are shaped like teardrops, contributing an extra 88 pounds of downforce at top speed. This level of obsessive detail is what separates Porsche from every other supercar manufacturer on the planet. So why does the 992 GT3 RS matter so much today? In October 2022, Porsche driver Jörg Bergmeister took this car around the Nürburgring Nordschleife in 6 minutes and 44.8 seconds. That is a time that puts it in the company of million-dollar hypercars, despite costing a fraction of the price. But as we look at the landscape in 2026, there's a bittersweet feeling surrounding this car. Rumors are swirling about the upcoming 992.2 facelift. We've seen the spy shots of the new GT3 Sport Cabriolet and the hybrid-assisted turbo models. There is a very real possibility that the 992.1 GT3 RS we see here is the final, purely naturally aspirated, non-hybrid RS we will ever get. If that's the case, Porsche has given us a perfect farewell. The 992 GT3 RS isn't just a fast car, it is a masterclass in engineering. It is a bridge between 50 years of racing history and the cutting edge of tomorrow's technology. It is a car that demands your attention, rewards your skill, and reminds you why we fell in love with driving in the first place. Whether it's the way the DRS clicks open on a long straight, the way the 4-liter engine vibrates through the carbon fiber seats, or the sheer presence of that towering rear wing, the GT3 RS has earned its permanent place on the legacy lane. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. If you enjoyed this journey through the history and tech of Porsche's finest, hit that like button and subscribe to the Legacy Lane for more content on the icons that define the automotive world. What's your favorite RS generation? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep the legacy alive.